The Detroit Lions stand at a crossroads that could define their season, and maybe a few beyond. The NFC North doesn't wait. With Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers reloaded, Minnesota's offense humming, and Chicago always eager to remind Detroit of their last playoff last decade, we need every edge to close the gap. Last year's playoff push showed the grit and promise, but if Detroit's about to slip up at quarterback depth, that promise could evaporate fast. The Lions have seen the ghosts of Barry Sanders' sudden exit and Calvin Johnson's retirement haunt their rebuilding for years, and everyone's watching. Can this team keep the momentum and avoid another tailspin? Quarterback controversies and backup uncertainties more often hold Detroit back than push it forward. So who's ready to carry that weight if Jared Goff falters? This is Lions News Fan Report, Detroit's unapologetic pulse on every twist of the season. And if you bleed Honolulu blue, you know this isn't just practice squad shuffling. Fans, hit that subscribe button to lock in all the updates from Allen Park to Ford Field, where every snap might be the one that finally breaks. The curse. Breaking now, word is C.J. Beathard, the ex-49ers and Jaguars quarterback, is poised to join the Lions practice squad and could be officially inked before Week 1. The midweek tryout wasn't just a formality. Detroit brought in 5 players, including Nathan Peterman and 3 wide receivers, but it's Beathard who earned the nod. A third-round pick in 2017, Beathard isn't flashy with a 3-10 record over 13 starts, but he brings valuable NFL experience that Dan Campbell explicitly demanded, a veteran who can step in and run the offense without missing a beat. At 31, Beathard logged 32 NFL games, 3,086 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions over 7 seasons. Not stats that dazzle, but solid enough for a reliable backup role. His recent work includes time on the Miami Dolphins practice squad, followed by a return to the Jaguars' active roster, where he backed up Trevor Lawrence. That exposure to varying offensive systems adds another dimension to his value in Detroit. Campbell laid it out. He wanted a seasoned, football-smart quarterback, not a raw developmental project. The guy who, if called upon, can process the offense under pressure and make sound decisions. Kyle Allen won the number 2 quarterback job during training camp. Hendon Hooker was let go after inconsistent preseason play, and that cleared the door for Beathard to slide in as the number 3 option behind Jared Goff and Allen. This signing brings much-needed stability to a room that's been a question mark, a lifeline before the Lions face their toughest early challenge, the Green Bay Packers. The vibe here is clear. Detroit isn't gambling on unknown backups. The coaching staff wants intelligence and dependability, hallmarks needed to survive the NFC North gauntlet. The Packers and Vikings have their quarterback situations locked, and the Bears are hungry after a disastrous 2023 offseason. Detroit's response? Veteran depth to avoid last year's late-game breakdowns, where whoever played behind Goff looked like they were auditioning for a different career. Beathard's arrival also signals Detroit's commitment to surround Goff with a quarterback room ready for quick pivots. This hints at Campbell and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson doubling down on quick decision-making, multiple read progressions, and a scheme demanding steady hands in the pocket. For Lions fans, this means fewer oh-no moments when backups get thrust onto the field, something we know all too well from past heartbreakers and the bitter Row 16 disaster. The ripple effects are immediate. Allen stays the clear number 2, but Beathard is a vet steadying the depth chart. Nathan Peterman and Hendon Hooker lose spots, the team tightens its ranks, and Detroit signals playoff seriousness. Keeping a game-managing, experienced backup isn't just insurance, it's respect for the division's stingy defenses and capricious weather that demand operational firm hands. Ford Field needs to roar like never before. When your backups can at least speak the language of the offense fluently, you're not just hoping for luck, you're planning execution. Lions fans, this is your moment to stay locked in, because the difference between heartbreak and breakout sometimes comes down to who's under center when the stakes blow up after halftime. So here's the question hanging over the NFC North. Is C.J. Beathard the unsung piece that finally steadies Detroit's quarterback room? Or just another stopgap on a team chasing playoff relevance? Can the Lions finally break the cycle that's echoed since Barry ran out of Detroit and Calvin retired and the playoffs kept slipping away? You decide. But one thing's for sure. Lions fans deserve more than another practice squad pun joke at the tailgate. Detroit's not just trying to make the playoffs this year, they're fighting to make their last playoff run a foundation, not a flash in the pan. What's your take? Drop your thoughts below, because this QB shuffle might just shape the season and the next era in Honolulu Blue, the arrival of C.J. Beathard as the likely number 3 behind Jared Goff and Kyle Allen consolidates Detroit's quarterback room, making it clear they're playing hardball on stability. This isn't some audition anymore. It's a calculated move to prevent the kind of late-game collapses that haunted last season, where backup QB roulette often left fans clutching their heads. Beathard's NFL experience, with 3,086 yards and 19 TDs over 7 seasons, signals a dependable vet ready to step in. Question is, how does this shift ripple into the locker room's chemistry? Campbell's decision to lean on a seasoned player like Beathard points to a strategic gamble. Do they believe that quick decision-making and game management can cover the gaps in talent? The focus now seems to be on consistency and mental toughness, things that raw rookies often lack. But that raises a question. Will this veteran-centric approach stifle the growth of young talent like Hendon Hooker, or is it a necessary step to avoid a replay of last year's second-half meltdowns? The NFC North is already shaping up as a battle of attrition. Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers, now with the Jets, leaves a void that Green Bay's front office is scrambling to fill. Minnesota's offense is humming, and Chicago's rebuild is gaining momentum. Detroit's shift to veteran backup depth could be what separates playoff dreams from another season of heartbreak. But with all the chess moves, the big question remains. Does Detroit's front office see Beathard as a peace offering to the fans or a peace treaty for a season teetering on the edge? For Lions fans, this signing could be the difference between a new hope and a sinking feeling of déjà vu. But let's be real. We've seen this story before. Quarterback hiccups, late-game struggles, and fading clutch moments. That 0-16 disaster still haunts the rear view, and each step forward feels like tiptoeing through a minefield. Every whisper of roster changes is a reminder. Detroit's legacy isn't just about talent, it's about resilience, the kind that can be shattered with one bad decision. This isn't just about plugging a hole, it's about establishing a foundation when every NFC North rival appears ready to pounce. If Beathard can provide even a sliver of stability, it puts less pressure on Goff and frees up the offense to be more aggressive, more confident. But make no mistake, every coach and player know the stakes. The window is small, the division unforgiving, and Detroit can't afford another season of what-ifs perched on the horizon. Now, with the NFL deadline looming, Detroit's front office is walking a razor's edge, pressing all chips on this veteran stopgap, just as early tests against the Packers, Vikings, and Bears tighten the grid. Do they truly believe this is enough, or are they gambling the entire franchise's future on a calculated risk that could make or break the season? The next few days will tell if this move is the start of a Detroit renaissance or a final whistle on their playoff hopes, all hinging on who's under center when it counts the most. Because if this isn't the end of the shock, it's just the beginning of something even bigger, an all-in push or the final chapter in Detroit's long quest for respect. Honestly, I'm fired up. We're talking about Detroit finally stacking the deck to compete, but at the same time, I can't shake the feeling that this feels rushed. a Band-Aid for problems that run deeper. I want to believe Beathard's experience is the game changer we need, but my gut says we're still gambling on a house of cards. If they really thought this through, we'd have a more solid plan, not just a veteran stopgap. Either way, Detroit's. Got a shot, or we're back to square one. And I swear, if this backfires, I'll be the first in the parking lot yelling, "Another damn rebuild!" Lions fans, the roar at Ford Field depends on what's under center when the pressure hits the fan. This isn't just football, it's our pride, our grit, our fight to leave the ghosts in the rear view. One pride means fighting every snap, every second, for the legacy we build and the future we demand. So strap in, because this season, the Detroit Lions aren't just playing for wins. We're battling to reclaim our destiny in Honolulu blue.